can try smoothie.
So welcome to a Storytime video where we have a lot to say about somebody.
And it's you!
and then there's featuring a dog named Athena. He was a spoiled little baby.
She's like, I will!
She's laying, yeah, he's just laying straight between us.
Well, where do you want to start?
You had more issues with her in, like, junior high, right?
Yeah.
So technically yours was before mine.
Yeah, because I didn't go to high school.
Yeah.
I didn't go to the high school. I only went to the junior high.
Mm-hmm.
And it started, I wouldn't say it started in 8th grade. I would say it started more in 9th grade, because that's when I actually stopped going.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, she was weird. Well, let me clarify it. We're talking about our choir teacher.
Just say Miss B.
Yeah. But, like, she was weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she was a weird choir teacher.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't bad at, like, I don't know. I don't want to say she was bad at teaching choir, because, like, I really enjoyed it for the most part.
I mean, it's just, but whenever she would teach, she'd always bring it back to how she got this, like, jazz trophy.
Yeah.
She'd always bring it back to that. She's like, well, I got a trophy for this.
And how she was nominated for the Grammys. Like, one time, she was, like, yelling at us, and, I don't know if you remember Creighton, but he was, like,
Sounds familiar.
He was, this Asian dude. He had, like, really long hair. For, like, a while.
But,
he was in choir, and she was like, why are you putting on that face, Creighton? Are you, doubting that I got nominated for a Grammy? But it was, like, it was completely, like, out of the blue, like, nominated for a Grammy. And we were all just like...
Yeah, we don't care.
So it was, like, weird. And, but then, in 9th grade, like, I joined choir club, which was, like, an after-school thing, and we did just, like, our own special thing at the concerts. But, like, after choir club, I would just, like, chill at the school for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, she just started spreading these rumors that I was staying after school to meet guys, because all the guys go to the junior high to hang out.
Oh, yeah.
And, Creighton went to Hawaii, and at the time, I was kind of, like, on and off with Creighton.
Mm.
And he had brought a bag of, like, souvenirs, I guess you could say, like, hats and jewelry.
I go to Hawaii.
And so he brought, like, some stuff, and I wasn't there when he dropped it off, and so she started telling everyone that it was closed, and I had forgotten clothes at his house, because I stayed the night.
Oh.
And I was just like, first of all, no. Second of all, no. And third, no, because, like, it was just, and I'm like, I'm a freshman in high school, I'm not staying over at some, like, older guy's house.
Yeah.
It was just a mess. And, like, she started just spreading a bunch of rumors. So I told my mom. And she was like, oh.
Yep. And then for me, I was new to the area, cause I just signed up for choir, because, you know, I didn't know the teacher or anything. I just moved to the area in 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And I just signed up for choir. Like, you know, this teacher's kind of weird and everything, but I'll bear through it, because I just started the school. I don't want to go to the office and be like, hey, drop the class.
Right.
Especially since, like, that's, like, the only class where I'll probably, like, actually be friends and stuff. So
no, yeah, definitely. That was definitely the class for me. Like...
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, dog. But yeah, and then it was 10th grade or 9th. No, it was 10th, because it was high school. One day in class, they had somebody who, she usually did, like, tenor or baritone voice, and, Miss B was like, why don't you try, like, teaching the class at this part of the song or something? So she went up there and was doing it, having us do warm-ups or something. And they were trying to get the sopranos, which I think during this song I was the second soprano or alto. And they just kept messing up. So I, like, mumbled to myself, like, get it together or something. And Miss Blanchard calls me out, and she's like, are you saying that so-and-so is like, I don't know what she said.
She was like making you seem like a bad guy.
Yeah, she was making me seem like I said something bad about this person when I did not. And then I left class early that day, because it's the last class of the day, but I left early because I think I was going to a funeral or something, I'm not sure. And yeah, well then on Facebook later today, that person posted saying, oh, the drama that happened at school today, or in class. So I commented what happened, I left early, and she's like, well that's funny because it was you who was doing it. And I was like, excuse me? And then I posted something later on, completely unrelated. It was like, Linkin Park's my favorite band or something. And she just kind of was like, Linkin Park sucks. And I was like, if you're gonna do this on all of my posts, which I didn't, wait to see if she would do it, so
right.
I just went and blocked her. And so Miss B made me lose a friend. And then after that, obviously I went to the office, and I was like, I'm not going to this class anymore. And so until they changed my schedule, I would just sit in the library for the last hour of school.
Yeah, and that person, because I know who you're talking about, like, even in, like, 8th and 9th, or, actually, that person only came in 9th grade.
Mm.
And, like, they would always try to be, like, this person that knew everything, because they were the leader, and so automatically, like, made them the choir expert, which I don't get at all. And, because, we would go in as sections and practice, like, parts. So, like, the sopranos would go for their, to a room and practice their part, and, like, someone had to lead. So I was like, I'll lead, because I've been here longer, and, like, I've been a soprano longer, and I don't see why I wouldn't lead. But she would, like, always try to, like, butt in and, like, be like, oh, hey, like, we should do this. And I'm like, how about you shut your mouth and sit down?
Back to fuck up.
Yeah, it was weird. And then, like, oh yeah, and then a couple weeks, I would say, into not, like, going to choir, in my second hour, and choir was, like, the last hour of the day, she came into my second hour, pulled me out of class, and was like, hey, I'm trying to get a hold of your mom, and I don't have the right phone number. Could you tell me her phone number? And I was just like, in my head I was thinking, this is not my problem. There's a school directory, like, that you can check, or the office, because they pulled my mom. I don't know why you're asking me, and, like, you're not even supposed to be talking. Like, we told the office, like, she's not allowed around. Because she was acting like a child, spreading rumors around me. Or, like,
she acts
around
like a child all the time.
And I was like, that's not something that a teacher does, though. Like, spread rumors about students of two other students. It was like she was gossiping with other students, and I'm like, that's so immature. But then I, like, went back inside the class, and I like, started freaking out, because I was like, what just happened? Like, I'm not supposed to be around this person, and they're, like, trying to get, like, information about, like, my mom, and, like, it was just really weird, so I went to the office. Like, if you don't do something about this, like, I am gonna do it.
No, I'm gonna sue you.
I was so mad, because I was like, you don't just pull someone out of their class, like, and she had a second, like, she was teaching a second hour, it was piano. She was so annoying. Before this all went down with me and her, she nominated me for the Certificate of Performance Arts, the Certificate of Excellence in Performing Arts. And, like, I had to go to this, like, ceremony and everything, and I was just like, why do, like, how are you gonna nominate me, but then, like, spread nasty rumors?
I know, right?
It didn't make any sense, and, like, I didn't want to go to the concert, but, like, the high sopranos were weak, so I showed up to the concert. Oh yeah, I never told you this. I showed up to the concert, and I wasn't going to choir, but I knew the song, but I went to the concert, showed up, and, like, kind of snuck in, and, like, snuck into place, and then snuck on the stage, and we were, like, a little bit into the song, and she saw me, and started bawling. She started crying, and she was like, and I was just like,
I think I remember that. I mean, I didn't know if she was looking at someone specifically, but
That was just like, girl, like, I don't like you, and you did a bunch of horrible things to me, but I'm not about to like all these other people down. But
hmm
some
I know they may think they're a soprano, but should.
no, yeah, because and especially I think one of the songs had high sopranos, and I think there were only 2 of us, so I was like, and Bish should probably show up because it's like half the high sopranos.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was weird, and like my mom took me to the ceremony and everything. And she was weird, like you don't hire anymore. But I still have the certificate, and I used it like my resume and.
The other thing for me is after I left the class, you have this like song folder, all your songs and everything, so you can like go home and practice and such. Well, I wasn't about to go back in that classroom, so I ran into one of the boys who was in the class, and he always hung out with this girl. And so I went to give them my folder, and they were like, okay. And then the next day, they like, I don't think they brought it back, but she came up to me and she was like, Miss, I want you to bring the folder. And I was like, nope, I'm not going back in that classroom.
Yeah. Well, and like, before, like, a little bit before, I ended up, like, completely cutting it out of my schedule. I was, like, in the interview process for my new school. So, like, I was leaving school for, like, because for my school, you need to go through the interviews. One with your family and one, by yourself. Like, this one we do with students.
Oh.
And, like, and so I was already planning on leaving. Like, I was like, I'm not going to the high school. I am going to this other school, and, like, I don't need to worry about all this stuff. And I was, like, already kind of, like, separating myself, because I knew I wasn't going to be able to talk to any of them again. But, yeah, it was, choir, like, was my favorite and least favorite part of my entire, like, high school experience.
I remember when I first got there, choir was like kind of like for the 3rd trimester, it was like cut in a third with like health class, and I didn't know that. I remember her saying something about it, but like I said, I was new to the school and everything. Right. I ended up having to take health twice that year. Oh my God. I had it in 1st trimester, and then I had it again in 3rd. I had the girl the first time.
Chloe?
I think so, yeah.
She's like really, like she.
Yeah. And then
she's
I had
the one that saved me
time.
from the lockdown.
I remember she was teaching health class and everything. She was fine, and then the 2nd trimester she had like crutches or something, and I'm like, what happened?
I think she had she either had weight loss surgery, or I knew she had problems with her liver. Like I can't remember what she had, but I knew she had problems with her liver because I remember going to her health class and going like, she's like, no, I get like yellow, like I start sweating, like I need to get.
That's fun day.
Yeah, I know. So she had because I knew like she had crutches or whatever, and then she lost a bunch of weight, and I was just like, yeah, I don't think I have anything else.
No.
It was just a really rough time.
Yep, with a really weird teacher.
Yeah, because I liked it. Like I loved choir because it was like not being in school.
Yeah.
It wasn't like you had to take tests.
Yeah, which I mean, it counted for your elective, but
right. But it was
at
like
least
a
you're
getaway
having fun.
because like I knew like on my way to choir I was always like yes, choir, and then right after was like lunch or something,
or the end of school,
and so you're like yes, choir, it's amazing in the same district. But I had Haverkate, and he taught at the high school for a little bit, but then I remember my friend texting me and going, oh my God, Blanchard moved to the high school, so she teaches high school now, and everyone's gonna be so mad because everybody in 9th grade was like, oh yeah, I can't wait to do choir in the high school.
And me, Mr. Haverkate, yeah, no one told me anything. Earl, I think it said her name on the schedule or something, maybe it didn't, but I came into class and I was like, what?
And I was like, oh my God, everyone's gonna be so angry.
I was like, please no. 2 years with you was enough.
Yeah, I don't know why, because like all that stuff went down with me. Like it was a huge thing. Like we went to the principal, and like my mom made like we had contracts and like stuff like that because it was bad.
Mm.
And like, I don't understand why they were like, yeah, and now you can teach at the high school too. It was so annoying. But there was times where like she was really nice to me because the day that I got pushed into a locker, long story, different story time video. But I was being walked to each class by Miss Bowie, and she walked me to choir. And before I went in, I just started crying because I was like, oh my god, everyone, like, because everyone started saying that I started the fight, and I was like, what? I got pushed into a locker. I'm the victim. I did not start anything. And like, I was crying, and so I walked in crying, and she told me to come over there, and she was like, who was it? And I was like she was like being a protective like teacher,
Mm-hmm.
and I appreciated that. But then she did all those other things. I was like,
Hold on. Yeah. I don't know. Not to say she was bipolar, but like sometimes
she had her moments where she would just be like, yes, and then like the same thing would happen, and she'd be like, no. Because I remember I had a solo in one of the parts,
Mm-hmm.
and I had like the worst like throat sickness. And so whenever we would practice and I would sing that part, I would like cough my lungs out.
Mm-hmm.
And like she stopped and she like started yelling at the entire choir and was like, look at Brittany like trying to like sing the solo and like coughing a bunch and blah blah blah, and you're not trying hard enough. And I was just like, oh, I'm sick.
Yeah, and then everyone's looking at you like, what the fuck, Brittany?
I know, and I'm like, guys, I'm sorry. And then I think it happened again, and she was like, if you're gonna keep coughing, like,
yeah.
What about me?
Sounds like something she would definitely do.
Oh yeah, it was.
Look at this job.
Oh, hello. It is not cuddle time. No.
Yep. So that's pretty much it for that story time.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't. It was just. It was an experience.
Yeah. And she's gonna do it to me.
Go look.
You're right.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face, tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.